Jimmy! Ricky! You! Smack Attack!
Hello everyone and welcome to the Smack Attack. I am your host Jimmy T. He is my co-host R to the B to the V, and you are watching and listening live on Hummy Media Group's YouTube channel and of course on channelattitude.com after the fact. Rick, what's crack-a-lackin', man? It's a fun Friday night for us, right? I mean, but not so much SmackDown though.
Well, bro, you know, we got a new bat day, a new bat time, but the same. God, you gotta love it. The same Smack Attack coming at you out of the gate here, so everybody know for the foreseeable future, you're gonna be getting your weekly dose of the Smack Attack Friday nights, just like right now, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna be coming to you live immediately following Smack Attack with Let's Go Brandon wraps up that awesome live watch along. Stick around here on the platform. Again, Jimmy T and myself going to be at it each and every week. Smack Attack has a new day and a new time. Fridays, 10 p.m. East. But Jimmy, hey, we got a few headlines here to talk about. Some business of the business to deep dive into. WWE, they want some creative changes, man. They want to push that envelope. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna break down the blue brand to see if that initiative started tonight. Or are we still going to be waiting for the future for that, Jimmy? But yeah, you know what? We're going to get to that on the back end of the show. You don't seem so positive. I've got a few good things in my notes that they did tonight that I liked, that we're here to, hey, we're going to be up on a Friday night, right? We're going to celebrate a little bit. Not what I'm used to, but I do got my caffeine kicking here. So we are good and lively, Jimmy. But hey, it's been last week you and I did every show together. I haven't seen you all week, man. How you been?
Yeah, crazy, right? I know. So you needed some time away from just social media in general. Yeah, last week we did a lot of shows. Yeah, how many did we do? Like 4 or something like that? 3, 4?
I think maybe 4 together between us. I think we were on all of them except for the Impact Attack. But I was in that chat, so I think we had a presence everywhere. But yeah, you know, we've got a lot to cover. The blue brand coming to us from Flyer Country, extended Flyer Country, South Carolina. But Jimmy, some of the headlines this week, we got a few things that we can touch on. One of the big ones continues to be the business talk surrounding WWE. I don't know if you got to see some of these numbers. Last week, you know, we get them after we record last week's SmackDown, and we had Saturday night's main event. Live attendance, abysmal in Salt Lake City. They had most of that thing. I think there was only maybe like 6,500 for that thing, you know, for a big weekend that they've sold to Salt Lake City for SmackDown. Not a great show on paper. They didn't really sell a whole lot there. They had a lot going on in town. They had the Big 12 was a feature game on ESPN that weekend with Utah. The Utes taking on, well, not just taking on, beating on my UC Bearcats. Had a lot of competition otherwise, but the ratings continue in the tanker, man. I don't know if you've seen the stat out there, but I mean, it's this year with SmackDown, it has just been a continual free fall when it comes to the ratings, brother. I mean, you know, we're talking that 2 million. We are down now. Last week, SmackDown drew under 1 million viewers. Now, I know, it was like 900.
Is that the lowest ever? Because I can't remember.
It is. I think it's the lowest within the foreseeable past there, with the exception of when they would make the moves to like FS1.
Okay,
that's like when they were on Fox on the open broadcast, you know, when they had like the World Series or something like that. But yeah, not really a good look. I mean, it's just been dropping. So we've
Well,
got and then we know the Netflix numbers. They're not exactly pleased, or with those that they're getting there.
well, I just want to just jump in for a second on that. See, on my Netflix, for example, Raw has been in the top 10 most viewed shows every week on a constant basis. Even SmackDown has, believe it or not, which is shown on Netflix as well. But could it be, with SmackDown particularly, could it be the fact that a lot of people, I mean, for you guys, especially in the US, you got to have cable television, you got to have numerous.
Not necessarily, because I don't watch on traditional cable. I watch through YouTube TV. By the way, YouTube TV, I want my damn Disney and I want my Sports Center back, my ESPN. But yeah, I mean, there's other platforms. You've got Hulu TV. You've got
Is that live on Hulu?
Yeah, Hulu's got live. You've got YouTube TV. There are other platforms that have a live television option, is in addition to the traditional cable sense. Now there has been a major change. Getting to work with Paz, man, he dives into these numbers each and every week on his show, The Business of the Business, where they sit down and actually look at the numbers, financials, things like that. So get some great insight there. So there has been a major shift in the Nelsons and how they analyze who's watching what. And like a lot of those platforms like YouTube TV are not being taken into consideration.
They're not.
No. So, or like only
that's
percentages of them are. I mean, it's pretty complicated how they're trying. And it's even so far now that a lot of the networks are actually going at the Nielsen rating system and maybe potentially holding some things up in court. Like, how we used to regularly get everybody look forward to the quarterly rating so we could see who was performing, who was tuning in for what, where were the high points. They've completely eliminated that aspect of the ratings. Now we're just getting that final number with the different demos and not the breakdown of that. But if you're these networks, you're these streaming services, you were sold a bill of goods, a promise that this thing was skyrocketing. It's at a height of popularity. Look at our ticket prices. We're right up there with the biggest events in the world. Our ticket prices are outranging that of Taylor Swift, of Beyonce. These number one acts that are traveling the globe and selling out these stadium shows. Our tickets are at a higher ticket price, and we're selling those. We're partnering up. We got merchandise sales. People are lining up for our product. So they sold that bill of goods. And I don't think a lot of these platforms really look at the product from a creative standpoint or, understood, because they probably look, oh, I love wrestling. I love it. I mean, how many times do you regularly hear that from people having a conversation? And what do? They immediately start talking about 25 years ago. They start talking to you about the Hulkster, or they start talking about Stone Cold and The Rock. That's I love wrestling. That's what they start talking to you about. So a lot of these executives probably were expecting, oh, it's wrestling. That's what it is. And now they're not getting that delivered on the promises that they bought into. Even so much more that there's a report out there. Hamid shared this over on the X, and he responded back. This is when NBC allegedly reached out to Russo and his team for the consulting stuff. They set up things like Antifa. That they set up really what the Fight Club should have been. All those kind of edgier topics there that the WWE went in there and completely stripped down, misunderstood, or just blatantly put on television the wrong way so it would look bad. And they would say, the networks, you don't let us do what we do here. But there has been, from the Zero on report at Zero from X, Ben shared this over here, big changes coming to WWE presentation, WWE shows as early as tonight. We'll talk about that, Jimmy, here in a little bit to see if we saw some changes. Even though it was choreographed fighting, ESPN wants a real fight feel to the way we showcase the drama, just like the Attitude Era. They want gritty and hardcore while still being PG, and they want it all on all programs, not just the ones they're in. They want the whole product to look like that, so as they can sell that there. Netflix, they're in a similar stance there, pushing the fine line between PG and PG-13. Not quite into the PG, but close enough that it feels the same as the Attitude Era, but still PG. Hence doing in the invasion angle again, blah, blah, blah. Tone down some of the swearing, but keep it the brutal hits. and just keep the swearing down here. But they want that edgier, that grittier, real world feel to it to match with what they're doing with sports.
So let me get this straight. So all the networks that WWE is on at this moment want an edgier product, yet also want it to be more sports orientated and somewhat realistic, right? First of all, and they say about the Attitude Era, let's be honest, all right? I love the Attitude Era too, don't get me wrong, right? But did it really seem that much more realistic?
Well, I think what really hit home with the Attitude Era in professional wrestling is we live vicariously through it. So things that we are looking at in the real world that absolutely just piss us off to no end, we can't actually go out there and do anything about it. You know, the easiest relatable thing from the Attitude Era that hit home, one of the greatest angles, feuds of all time, is Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon, the boss.
Right, absolutely.
Because, you know, everybody, you know, especially you got that blue collar, you know, chop wood, carry water, up before the sun, you know, home after dark. All you want to do is kick back, enjoy a few beers, and relax. You're a hardworking son of a bitch. But you got the man. You got an asshole boss. You got a system that keeps taking from you. So you live through Stone Cold. You get to go out there and kick that guy's ass. That's a relatable thing, you know, but it's turned up to 100, rip the knob off. Also, during the Attitude Era, you had other great characters that you could live through. You know, the gang war. Well, that's real. You know, there is biker gangs and gangs, you know, black activists,
right.
You know,
in that
Hispanics
sense,
that kind of roll together. I mean, that's real world situation.
But they still took the piss on it, though, Rick, to be fair, if you know what I mean.
And how so? I mean,
well, for example, you alluded to the Nation of Domination, for example, right? Come on, there was a lot of ridiculous shit going on at 1.2 with the Nation. At first, it was what it was. Like you said, like it was a take on the Nation of Islam, shall we say, more so than anything.
Well, I mean, it went through a lot of, you know, variations. You know, when the Nation came in, it was started by two white dudes.
Yeah, those two little rappers, whatever the fuck it was, right? Yeah, I remember that.
You know, they brought that from the USWA, and then it evolved into Farouk taking that over. And speaking, you know, of the power of the Black Panther kind of message. Right. And you had him alive, you know, Mark Henry, you had D'Lo, the Godfather, you know, who would become the Godfather in there.
But you then had the lawyer too. I forgot what his name was. The black dude,
Clarence.
Oh, Clarence.
Yeah, he was part of it. Yeah, he was part of that earlier group where you had remember Savio Vega was in there and he spun off to start his own group. You know, he went
Los Boricuas.
Yeah. Crush spins off and, you know, starts his own thing there. So it all started from that original domination. And then we got these different variations. But then when The Rock kind of took over, it really became more self-centered around The Rock's success. He's the crown jewel of this group. And then everyone else kind of got to form their own characters and kind of spin off from there. That's when you really got the Godfather with the whole train, Sexual Chocolate, you know, D'Lo with the head bob and all that, you know, out there those guys started having a lot more fun. But pro wrestling, it's always been that way when it mirrors what's happening in society and lets us live vicariously through that. There has to be, from the networks and the fans, an understanding. We live in the era today because everything's right here at the tip of our fingers. Now. I need instant gratification. Pro wrestling's like a movie, but instead of sitting down for 90 minutes, 2 hours or whatever to get your payoff, these scenes are told out over 3, 4, 5, 6 months.
Right.
So just because you get maybe 1 week where, oh my God, they said that to somebody. Oh, you can't get overly offended. Let the story play out and learn the lesson. As long as there's lessons to be made and be told, and we have those payoffs, that's ultimately what it's about when it comes to that storytelling. But to me, a lot of it, again, is in the presentation. And you can use the social media. A kayfabe doesn't have to be dead. And I always, it's dead, it's dead. No. That's a terrible excuse. And that's hurting. That attitude hurts the business more than anything. Kayfabe can still exist, but it has to be allowed to evolve. Learn how to use social. Drew McIntyre's a master of that. Like going out there and generating that heat through social media and getting you to continue to buy into his stories And even though we all love and respect Drew, we buy in enough with him to go boo him, and he can get that heat in those arenas.
And it's not even go away heat. You know what I mean?
No, it's actual. It's people are buying into true McIntyre.
Right.
You know, it just is the same case as silly as the Undertaker gimmick was. You know, the dead man, the Walking Dead, whatever.
In hindsight, it sounds silly,
yeah,
right?
But we didn't need to believe that there was a zombie or Walking Dead or a guy that was a. We believed in the Undertaker because he was so good. We believed in Mark,
right, exactly. Right.
Just like Drew, the man, because he is so good at it. And to me, as a fan, if you want to really help the product and get it going, don't try to, you know, go against the grain. Like, oh, cool. I know Kevin Owens is a great guy. You're not doing him any favors by going out to cheer him when he's trying to generate heat or get us move a story in a right direction.
It's true.
So, I mean, to me, being a part of the show is to go out there and buy in that way.
Yeah, if you do like him and respect him, you will boo him. You know what I'm saying? Like, out of respect to the business.
Yeah, I mean, like when I go to an indie show, if I'm in the audience and I see I can help, and I got somebody close to me is up there trying to get heat, and you got people just know him because he is a good guy or something, and they're cheering, I'll go at him to try to help him a little bit.
Right, as you should.
You know, so and again, you know, ESPN wanting those edgier kind of stories, and I don't think, you know, you don't just go out there and get absurd. I think again, the presentation, the format is so stale. That's what needs to be crisping up. And we're going to get into SmackDown. There's a few spots here, a little teaser before we get to that there. I've got it in my notes where we could especially start making this look more like the other products on ESPN and sports in general.
Okay. In saying that, should you bring in some ESPN production staff to help with that?
Well, we've already heard a rumor that a lot of already the ESPN stuff, like Unreal, right? Did we hear that was like through NFL Films, through theirs?
And it looks like that, sort of, if you know what I mean, like just the way it was shot and all that. You know what I mean? It's not typical WWE.
So I think, you know, using that and dipping your toe and sampling that with something like Unreal that isn't hitting the mass audience yet, but getting that feedback from your hardcores, that absolutely is going to help you. There's a lot of other, like even like how we are setting things up for packages and stuff. To me, it should look more like a sports center. Remember back in the day? I'm sure you loved this, man. I loved Hammer's in the house. I see him over there. I don't have my chat open. I got some notes over here for what we're talking about. Love the Hammer here. Anybody over there, especially Hammer though, but anybody in the chat, old school. Like when we get up on Saturday morning and we're watching Challenge and Superstars. And how did we get caught up on the news things that were going on? Mean Gene or Lord Alfred Hayes in the control center.
Or Vince McMahon sometimes. Or Tom Mooney, if that was his name.
And a bunch of Sean Mooney was in there. But yeah, they would take us to the control center. And they would give us some things like, so why don't we have something like that? Now, I know they tried the entire Sports Center show on FS1. You don't go to that extent. We don't need that. But just give us clips inside of a studio that can get us up to date. Or, hey, we've got this match coming next week. Instead of doing these stupid, like 2 weeks ago when Kit Kat Wilson, you know, hey, it just comes up. No, that's not selling anything. Now, it's not to give away too much, but all right. So B-Flop, who thank God next week's going to be B-Squash, like how they set up her match next week. You know, those are just stupid. Yeah, and you know what? I actually am going to tune in because I just want to see Jade kick her head off. She's going from B-Flop to B-Squash. But
B-Squash, be done.
Yeah. Another small tidbit from this week's SmackDown. It doesn't ruin anything when you get into the conversation, but how they're doing the John Cena tournament. They got a tumbler. Where'd they go? Raid grandma's basement and get her old bingo set? How lame is that? Right?
I was thinking, what the fuck? Looking at it, I think this is weird, man.
How
the whole thing is weird to me. But anyway,
all right. So as a sports fan, we've got this tournament that we're going to announce here. Like the tournament or not, that's indifferent here. It's happening.
Right.
What do sports fans love? We love Selection Sunday in the NCAA tournament. It's a huge thing. Or we love the NBA draft lottery, where they have, you know, the odds and they bring out the big envelopes.
Everyone loves a good draft, man. Absolutely.
The lottery, a draft system, Selection Sunday. Why aren't we doing something like that with ESPN? This Saturday night, ESPN, or between the big games on Saturday night, tune in at these times because we're going to bring you windows of the WWE Cena Selection Committee where we're going to reveal the 16 names and the bracket this Saturday night. Big time football, big time John Cena tournament. No, we get grandma's tumbler because they half-ass everything.
Yeah, see, they should implement like Sports Center with those type of announcements. Do you know what I mean? Wouldn't it be so much better if you're hearing din-a-noo, din-a-noo? You know what I mean?
Yeah, things like that. Those are what you need. Or, when we're doing the stuff with ESPN, I don't know if you could use that like when you were doing the other, like, on Peacock or something like that. But even if you had those updates at the bottom for your ticker, I mean, I do like how they did implement the ticker. And then we do have like the match who won during the night. Those are like small little things they seem to get right. But it's like they're so afraid to just go all on in because it's not their presentation, their style. But this format, so what do you want to talk about? That sort of crap that we're getting.
Yeah.
These just happen to run into each other backstage. The in-ring talking segments, man, they have just worn this out. There has not been a change in WWE pro wrestling presentation because AEW just sees it's monkey see, monkey do. And it is because humans are familiar.
Spot on, bro.
We're familiar creatures.
I say that all the time too, man.
It's monkey see, monkey do. There has not been a change in the format since what, the Attitude Era?
Do you want to be honest? I would even dare and say since it is since the Attitude Era, but even to a less extent, even the 80s, when you think about it, has it really changed that much?
Well, you saw a little bit when they shipped it from like the pre-tape where they'd come in to the Cincinnati Coliseum and just tape like 3 months in one evening,
Right, yeah, that's different. That's more of a higher camera to the way they used to do it. But I'm saying more late 80s. But you're right. Technically, the way everything is done, like graphically and all that, is really from the Attitude Era. Like, and we haven't. Sure, they've got some, nice.
GM's going to come out and interrupt a fight and make a match.
Right, it's the same shit. It's just with a lot more gloss on it. You know what I mean? That's really the difference. Yeah, we do have a few different aspects of the production,
it's more crisp.
It's a lot more crisp. That's all it is, right? Way more crisp. But you're right, man. It really hasn't changed since the Attitude Era in terms of format and production.
So with all this business talk going on with WWE, and this one really gets me. So we have Nick Khan. He's on a call. They're doing the quarterly call. I think he's done a few other interviews with this. But he's defending the rise in ticket prices.
Bro.
Where we have gone, in like the last 10 years, they have over 200% increase.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. I saw people posting to go to shows, right, coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's bullshit. The nosebleed's over $300.
Well, okay, so I started diving into this because I really wanted to hear. I read the quotes, but I wanted to hear what was the cadence. What was the context behind this thing, and the way they lay this out, it's kind of funny. Is you're seeing this business practice across the board in a number. I'm seeing this because I study a lot with.
Right, no, you're right. It's across the board. It's not just WWE.
Well, and what they do, it's just not wrestling. It's just not.
It's not just wrestling.
It's just not like events or anything like that. But their strategy was, and I actually was just reading something about the Wendy's restaurants that's very comparable to this.
Okay.
Wendy's is going to start closing a shit ton of stores.
I've heard about that.
That's that is with the hope that when there is less outlets, options, it will drive the demand for their product, which means that they can maximize pricing because instead of just being able to get them anytime, every time, it's going to become more of a special attraction, which means they can tag on a little bit more.
Maybe they're trying to get away also from being next to McDonald's or whatever other fast food restaurants.
You know what's freaking hilarious about an old side story on this about Wendy's? Instead of these companies like this, they would invest, back then, hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars just in location research.
Well, it makes sense.
Where's the traffic? Because if you're going to build there, you get some big shot. So Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's, he instead of investing in that, he just said wherever they open a McDonald's, find property and open a Wendy's.
No,
because he wanted to be right there, and he knew that he would get that overflow.
Right.
Why try to compete with them? Let's
Right.
let's piggyback off them. I thought it was genius that he did that time.
You think so?
So
but it feels like they're trying to get away from that now.
No, they still want that hub. They want where people are going.
Okay.
And it kind of in that sense, the WWE, they do that too, because instead of just selling you one show, what are they doing big time? They're selling you a whole weekend package.
Whole package,
You're getting at least 2 of them, sometimes 3 or 4 for these mega metropolises in these mega spectacular weekends that you've got. But what else does WWE do? Just like when he's just closing stores, WWE cut out house shows.
Yeah, but they kind of spiked
Majorly, no, they're only doing premium A markets for the holiday season.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense, right?
So here domestically in the States, they cut those. They're not out 52 weeks a year, running 3 or 4 days a week, in addition to television in 2 different cities a night. Back in the 80s, they would hit
2-3 times a day, bro.
6-7 with an A team, a B team, and a C team.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Traveled around. So you do those numbers. But yeah, that's back then when you could get in for $5, $10, to get you in, and then you had your previews. So now the mindset is domestically, you create an illusion really that this is a special attraction. They also increase overseas tours, which is helping with their financials.
Oh, absolutely would be.
Because those individuals have been so deprived for so long. But you're not going to make shit on a house show over there, because Europe, the tour in Europe, and even you in Australia, you've had those for a while.
Oof.
But you were hungry. You were hungry for PLEs.
Hungry, starving, bro. What are you talking about? It was starving.
So if you're a starving dog, and I got a big old T-bone steak, you're going to pay any amount of bones you got to have that.
That sounds bad, Rick. But anyway,
so
I want a bite of that T-bone.
So they know this. So they have blatantly come out. Even Khan addressing this the way he does is again blatantly a big stone cold middle finger right to their core audience, the traditional wrestling audience, the blue collars.
100%.
You can't take the prices down there. If you wanted to take a family of 4 to the house show you went to, you're looking at what, $1,200 minimum?
I said the nosebleeds are $200, right? So 2, 4, 6, 8, just under $1,000, bro, for a family of 4.
Yeah, well,
for a house show.
That's tickets, right? And then you got parking.
Right.
You going to hit the concession stand. Hey, Dad, we got to go get a T-shirt. We got to get yeet glasses. You're $1,200, $1,500. You're
broke for the rest of the week. Put it that way.
You broke for a while.
Yeah, it's bad. Dude.
So
it's bad.
I mean, that's where we're at here for their business practices. They're telling you, we are going to hit that top target. You're going to pay it. We're here. We've got our streaming deals. The question now, though, is you and I asked this question a couple weeks ago. Can they really look in the mirror and say this is a good creative product?
See, I'm intrigued by that because I think the same thing. There's surely, actually, and we were on the show with Ben as well. I think it was on Like a Wall.
Laid it out. Laid it out and said they don't even care about that. They're not even looking in the mirror.
And I remember I specifically said to Ben during that show, I go, surely Triple H and quite a few of them in the back know that this shit is just shit, right? Surely they know that they know better than that, 100%. And Ben said, they don't know shit, really. And now I'm starting to think maybe they don't know shit because, how can they continuously keep doing this, right? And they tease, right. But see, this is what makes me think they do know because they'll give you great shows if they want, but never follow up on it.
What have we seen? What have we seen that's anything great since Triple H took over? What have we seen anything great? And let's just even say the last 5 years. Has there been anything? You know what? A few things come to mind, but let's talk about things that happened in the last 5 years but there were major letdowns that in the last 5 years that happened. And Jimmy T was like, oh shit, I cannot wait to tune in. I got the one that comes to mind for me is actually coming up on an anniversary of it a couple years ago when Cult's personality hit Chicago at Survivor Series.
Oh, that was that's a moment, dude.
Dude,
Absolutely.
I couldn't sleep because that was on a Sunday. Monday night, that we didn't get shit. They didn't deliver on anything. They should have came out of the gate with CM Punk. We got him late in the show. We got delivered nothing. Major letdown.
Was he not on Raw that the next night?
He was there. He was like at the top of the third hour and said nothing. Like they should have been opening with that, feeding us that.
Can't remember,
They just opened up with just absolute garbage. I just remember how disgusted I was and barely even made it to the CM Punk segment because I was already so turned off by it. But that was a level of excitement.
I remember now. Right. They should have had him right at the start, really. But yeah.
Outside of that, the last 5 years, I can't think of anything that was like.
I mean, Cody is also a big deal, to be fair.
What has Cody done that has energized?
Forget what he's done. It's just
elevated.
Him coming back. Yeah, no. I'm not. Forget that. That's a whole different thing. But just the fact that he came back to WWE straight out of AEW was a huge deal, and that got me excited. I'm not going to lie. I was pumped after that. But again, what happened after that? Look, the last year I feel was much better than this year. Put it that way, though, in terms of booking and. Even though it was kind of all over the place.
Would you still graded it any more than a C? Maybe a maybe. I mean, I still don't think they're hitting anywhere from like, I don't know, like 30%. That might be being generous.
This year, you're being way too generous.
I've been looking at that 5 year. And then the biggest fumble, how they did this John Cena thing, his retirement tour has been a complete disaster. They spend this in however they want. Started a little, started hot. People wanted to celebrate this. This isn't about going out there and he's got to create all these new start. No, this is, you and Ray said it so elegantly, so perfect on Like a Raw a couple weeks ago. This is a love letter to the fans. Right, this is what we want to see. Just go out and have fun. You've seen the energy. Even the explanation, like it was hard to believe because it was so lazy creatively. Just seemed like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just going to come out at SummerSlam and beat John Cena. The fans they love that because they didn't even care that it sucked because that's what they wanted. And it never should have been the other way.
Right. They weren't buying it either before that.
And now we got some stupid, lame tournament that they can't even get right. We got Grandma's Tumblr deciding this,
Tumblr. I mean, yeah, see, I don't, the tournament thing is kind of corny, to be honest, Rick. I feel. What, the prize is John Cena? You're telling me all these guys want to be the last guy to face Cena? Sure, I guess they'll always be in the record books, right?
Well, I know it's a big deal. I think, and again, though, now you want me to care about the two champions? This is a bigger deal than a championship. Who gets to be John Cena's last opponent?
That's what it feels like, right? Might as well have a PLE based on it.
And right now, I know you're in WWE, that you do plenty of yourself, but the last thing pro wrestling needs right now is more tournaments.
Tournaments, dude. AEW is guilty of that too. Every wrestling company right now is just guilty of tournaments. I used to love tournaments, Rick, but that's because I only got to see it once
they were special. Right.
Once a year. King of the Ring.
Love King of the Ring.
I loved King of the Ring. The original King of the Ring, I always used to look forward to it, man. But now, like you said, they give us one every second week, it feels like. AEW, heck, they do one every week, it feels like.
Well, yeah.
So, and I'm being obviously a bit sarcastic, but it's freaking at least they got to have at least 10 to 15 tournaments a year in AEW. And that'd be
something to look into instead of the belt count, which we're going to be talking a little AEW here in a minute. A little teaser for the wreckage.
We should do that. Actually,
Jimmy, I got it on the run here. We're going to talk a little bit about it. But hey, I've got some more business side from WWE. I think the story that you've been kind of talking about a little bit, deep dive in this one, but I do got to admit here, Ridge Holland, this is a story about him opening his GoFundMe and his contract issues. You know what? I have to admit this. Today, November 7th, 2025, I realized his name is Ridge. This entire time I thought it was Rich. That's how important this guy was.
No, bro. No way. No. Yeah. You really thought it was Rich the whole time?
If you read the run, I said it even says Rich. And then afterwards, I was like studying like what's happening here. And I was like, oh shit, his name is Rich. But
I noticed you said that, but I thought you just were doing that just being just for a laugh. But anyway, that's interesting.
I guess Ridge or Rich. I guess it's fitting that I had mistaken him because he's opened a GoFundMe account where he's trying to get rich. What's he doing here? But hey, real quick to run down this story with him.
He's an idiot, bro. I'm sorry, but continue.
So Ridge Holland, most famously going to be known in his wrestling career as the individual, unfortunately, the individual who, in all likelihood now, has ended the career of Big E. Botch move there, totally just destroyed his neck. We'd hoped that Big E would come back. Really, Big E right there at the peak, at the height, former world champion, all that. Totally devastated by that. He's having a great second career run there in the commentary stuff. Would love to get back in that ring. But Holland's going to forever, number one, be linked to that injury, that devastating career-ending injury.
100%.
Holland's been given some other chances himself. Now, in this story, current today, Ridge he's gone publicly and he pretty much said WWE is effing him. They have notified him that they are not going to renew his contract. It is set to it was set to expire here November 24, somewhere in the next couple of weeks here.
Right.
They did offer him, but hey, he is injured right now. So they said, hey, we'll take care of your surgeries. We'll take care of you on that. So he's thinking, man, he's like, not going to, back in the day, they would extend you out for lost time, take care of you or whatever. He would still have some income coming in. So now he's saying, well, I can't wrestle. How am I going to take care of my family? Now we're learning, because he came out and said they're kind of effing me. The TKO has found him in a breach of contract and is going to terminate that deal immediately. So he's going to miss a couple weeks of pay.
Oh, shit.
Now, when you really unraveled this thing, they were going to cut him a year ago.
That's right. And they told him that too, didn't they?
Yeah, they told him. They told him. So
what does he do? He gets a mortgage.
Well, no, Holland came back and negotiated, said, hey, I'll take a drastic pay cut if you guys will just put me back on a basic NXT deal.
Okay.
You know what? We could do that. So he was making the low bottom right now for WWE. Let's say it was
$60K a year?
Like 300,000 or something like that.
Oh, really? That's the base?
Well, for the main roster stuff, that's what they're guessing he was at. So, but his cut would have taken him down to maybe like 100,000, 150, somewhere in there.
That's still great money.
Well, you think, but it's an independent contract because then you still need to track. Right. There's things in there. Okay, so that is a drastic cut, of what you're used to. So that's what he was working on. He's already had a second life. They just gave him a shot because he took a huge cut in it. Went back to pretty much a base development deal. And now they said, hey, you're a breach contract. You're bad mouthing the company. You're out of here, buddy. So Ridge Holland Ridge Holland has gone out and started to GoFundMe, and he's already getting some donations out there.
Really?
Green has donated. They said 100,000. He's got some others inside of WWE that have done it. Even Kyle Fletcher from AEW donated quite a large sum to help him out. So first, do you
interesting?
Where do you stand? Is TKO? And a lot of people are like, oh, it's the evil empire. How could they do this to this poor guy? What is your take on the situation? Not necessarily Ridge right now.
Well, me personally, I'm not. Look, is he an idiot? You know what I mean? Me going into WWE personally, I would have already expected a lot of the bullshit that goes on, even with contracts, right? Mm-hmm. But when they wanted to release him a year ago, now if it was me and they were telling me we're going to release you, and then I somehow negotiate, oh, you know what? Just pay me the base pay. I'll stick in NXT. I'd be paranoid that whole time. The whole time, knowing that they wanted to get rid of me already. What makes me think that I'm safe now, guaranteed for another year, because I took a base pay? There's no way I'm going to even think like that, let alone go out and get a mortgage and then blame the big bad evil company for me getting a mortgage because I thought I was going to get paid. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I think hey, that's a great point right there. Like, the writing should be on the wall here, buddy, that you should be scrapping and saving every bit of income that you can get right now. Now, and then on the other side, make sure you're in there busting your ass to get back in a good light with these sons of bitches. Because this guy looked like $1 million.
He looks it, but
You
was
know,
he?
he had that creative wrestler. He had that creative wrestler that you would think they would be able to keep around, find something for him to do along those lines in that. But, but that's not going to be there. So make sure that you're bettering yourself to get in that position. But I think he took it for granted. He thought he was over. He thought he had it made, that just because he was there, that he was always going to be there.
Nope. You should never think like that, especially in that company, man. No way.
Well, and I'm on the fence with the GoFundMe. I think it gets abused and used way too much out there. A lot of people start for different things, but if you're going to do it and people want to give you money, I'm not considered to tell people what to do.
That's fine. Absolutely. If people want to give you money, hey, I'm not complaining about that at all. But when you've already made how much money and you've got yourself in debt, not because it's no one else's fault that you're in that sort of debt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's on him. It's not even WWE's fault.
And they're still taking care of medical bills for him, to get him back up.
That's not cheap.
And then you say that he needs wrestling to support his family. I had a great conversation on the backside of the Monday locker room. If anyone wants to go back, listen to that. It's like in the last 45 minutes where, the question that I posed that last week about transitioning from the spotlight of the squared circle to a civilian job. And Ben and I went deep dive into it, talked about some examples out there. This might be one of those things that he's going to have a hard time. Dude, wrestling might be over for you. You didn't really leave that big of a mark. I don't really see anybody claiming to come get you unless you can find something maybe in Japan. I don't think you're anywhere on AEW's radar. Not really fitting their style. So this is one of those transition things. And another story that I know you have been following, because you bring it up anytime there's a breaking development in it, and I think this relates to that, is the Andrade situation. Because it looks at, it's about the contracts. And so these wrestlers nowadays, they need to realize the good old Carney world, Carney Squares and Addicts is out the window. TKO is big business entertainment with high-end sharks. Sharks as agents.
High-end sharks, right.
So these talents, they better be coming prepared. Agent up of your own, which is going to be hard because TKO has ties to every major sports entertainment.
They are the agents pretty much.
Dude. They are. They are. They are the mob. They are the mob.
Including Nick Khan, too.
Right. He's in with it. Ari Emanuel, Nick, all those guys. The guy over today, they're all in that same mafia.
That's their business, man. That's what got them to
you better find somebody that's gonna pony up for you, saddle up on your side that can understand these things. Because there's going to be all sorts of these fine prints. These things are probably as thick as a phone book or the Bible, these contracts that they're getting now.
100%, man.
You think Andrade ever imagined that anywhere in there in a clause that could have kept him potentially out of wrestling for a year just because of how he treated the company?
Probably not, but you know what? That's on him. Again, I hate to say dumb and dumber over here with Region Andrade, but this is exactly what it is. Dumb and dumb. You telling me, I know me, I would have gotten my lawyers to absolutely go through every inch of those contracts, man.
Because they're so used to doing wrestling the old way.
Yeah, without having agents and shit, because Vince used to hate agents, if you remember. Right?
Well,
but now
he doesn't want those. He loves his lawyer teams, but now we're on a different level. Now we are big boy business. So, you got to believe this is shots fired. This is a message throughout that locker room, throughout that entire system, that Andrade and Holland are examples. You better get in line, or we have got you by the balls. We will castrate you now, or we'll put you on a shelf.
100%.
For as long as we see fit. And that's it. That shot that's being set out there.
So, in saying that, Rick, I don't blame TKO and whatnot about all this, man. It's on the wrestlers themselves, on the talent themselves, to really study this shit, get behind, see what's going on, so you can learn yourself how to deal with this shit. You know what I mean?
Well, and we see this, out there in the real world. I'm sure you guys, it's probably in your headlines down there. Oi, Foster's Australian for beer. But when you go to social media, yeah, you can have freedom of speech, but there are ramifications for that.
Absolutely.
That isn't just an ability to just shoot off your mouth.
No, and you really can't.
You say something stupid, especially against your employer, they're going to terminate you.
Right? You're done.
Hey, maybe one positive of this, because I mean it's not maybe they're not seeing it as fair for the town. So maybe one positive is we get some of these talents, if you will, superstars, get a reality check and shut the hell up on social media.
Let's hope, because that's another problem that they've all got. They can't handle criticism, dude. Every single wrestler these days are a bunch of, I hate to say it, because look, I'm not a worker, right? But I'm just looking at the perception. It's just my perception. You're all insecure soft cocks. Like, come on, man. Like, why should I give the time of day to some idiot who can't even? They're faceless, bro. You don't know who they are, what they look like. You know what I mean? Telling me who, how bad or how fucking shit I am or whatever, and I'm gonna get fucking butthurt by it. Get the fuck out of here, man. Their job is just they want attention, man. And they'll do anything just to get that attention, whether it's negative or positive. It's just their way of getting your attention. You know what I mean? So these wrestlers need to just chill the fuck out, stop responding to a bunch of nobodies. You know what I mean? And that includes us. Like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, like, we're just your normal civilians. You guys.
No, respond to us. Respond to us, just not everybody else.
Yeah, respond to us, but not everyone else. No, but the truth is, like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, grow up a little bit. They need to grow up, man.
We got Mike Martin over in the chat. How about a little boom? Ooh. Check out his YouTube page there. Give him a sub. Check out his content over there. I've been following it a little bit myself. Jimmy,
pretty motivational too, by the way, Mikey. Good shit.
Well, we were talking about tournaments. We love tournaments. We love tournaments. I know you and the vet love tournaments.
Love them, bro.
Over on All Elite Wreckage. That was another thing I did. I kept typing that today. Instead of All Elite Wrestling, I kept typing All Elite Wreckage. Like my predictive Texas picked it up on it. But I know as a little teaser, you guys are going to be talking about this over on the Wreckage. But hey, let me ask you here. You're the expert on it, so I just want to pick your brain on what's going on. The hamster wheels turning there inside Tony Concept. Are championship titles for Tony Khan like his wrestlers? He just forgets that he has them. Let's just forget that he has them. We are getting another championship in AEW wrestling. They're at the point where they're not even creating new championships. They're stealing championships, names and concepts from other companies, and then claiming that they're bringing them back to prominence. So this past week, we get the announcement that AEW All Elite Wrestling is introducing the National Championship.
What a joke.
Well, let's try to dissect everything that's wrong with this thing. So first and foremost,
joke.
The new National Championship, the intention for this thing is for it to be defended across AEW, Ring of Honor, and C-Mill and New Japan.
Right.
Let me ask you something. When the hell did CMLL, and New Japan become part of the national region?
I was going to say that.
It wasn't that the intent of first the All Atlantic Championship, which had the New Japan, had the Japan flag in there, but that became the International Championship. Wasn't that the point of that? To travel around and do that?
That should be called an international championship, correct?
Well, we already have that. We have that.
Right. So now we're going to go national.
Then that was merged with the Continental, which sounds a lot
means
like
the same
national
thing, really,
to me.
Right.
And then those two created the Unified. So those are now like 3 belts in one that Kenny Omega's walking around with, right?
No, it's Okada.
Okada has those. So those are the 3 belts that are supposed to be doing the job of the new National Championship.
Right. Correct.
I'm just making sure that's yeah, right. So just like Tony Khan forgets that he has people signed, does he forget that he has championships? I mean, this guy makes championships. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Well, dude, let's be honest. If you're TK making all these stupid championships, right? You telling me you wouldn't forget?
Wait, and I mean, where are we at now? Poor Brandon. Let's go, Brandon, over on the AEW watch longs, the belt count. I mean, this is going to be freaking ridiculous here.
That's a joke. And we still got the women's tag belts to debut.
Now we
too.
got women's tag belts. So we still have to crown those champions. Well, but still on this national champion, our nation already has a great champion, and he's in the National Wrestling Alliance, and he's a great friend of the Hameen Media Group. So much of a great friend that he was the best man in Ben Hameen's wedding. Mike Mondo just won the national championship and is going to, with honor and valor and integrity, go from territory to territory like the championship was intended to do and defend that.
Right. Like back in the day, the NWA type of deal. Right. Exactly. Right.
So what a freaking joke. Why not, if you're Tony Khan, you want to do something like that, why not try to work with the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance? Give some of those talents. You're about all this forbidden door stuff here. You're about the history of wrestling and getting back to the roots. Well, NWA is right there. They could use partnership here.
They could. And yeah, if they were smart, if they feel like they're getting cornered into a corner with WWE and TNA, well, there's your comeback. How about you do the same thing with NWA? But they say they like playing with others, Rick. But I don't think they play well with others. If you look at the history, you know what I mean. It never really lasts properly, except for New Japan. At this point, he's the only ones that have stayed with him. Well, even though I feel like AEW is totally destroyed. New Japan Pro Wrestling and WWE.
AEW, the creation of All Elite Wrestling was a roadblock for the progress of New Japan into Western society.
100%.
Absolutely crushed that. And
crushed.
And really, since then, New Japan is, as a business, they're not even really doing great in their own market.
No, they're not. They're suffering badly, Rick, really bad. I'm actually worried about them. That's how bad it is.
The only thing Impact Wrestling, TNA Wrestling got from Tony Khan was that he gave him cash. Now, I know a lot of people, it's so better with WWE because they want to talk about stupid creative. Yes, it is better with WWE because they're getting the exposure. They're getting, growing their actual own company, looking at television distribution, things like that. They're breaking gate, records.
They actually did help
rates, things like that. Right. So they are going. So they're getting something out of that. So maybe when we're looking at this and asking why not reach out to them, maybe Billy and them just don't want to do business with Tony.
Maybe. I mean, maybe they don't get along as far as we know. I'm sure they've met 100%. But
maybe, they're looking at it like, what? We don't need that kind of rub.
I do feel with NWA, I feel they're so not getting spoken about anymore until recently because of all the Russo rumors and all that.
Right.
I feel like right now, though, they're such in a dark hole, like in a dark corner where no one really knows what they're up to right now. And I'm really worried about him. But then again, it seems like Corgan seems to be throwing his money and doesn't seem like he's bleeding, like per se in the pocket, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's an interesting conversation. Because if I'm Billy Corgan, man, I am using all of my resources, my contacts, my celebrity to get this company going.
Right. I'm sure he would be to an extent.
No, I mean, we would have seen this by now. Like, I would have gone to networks and been like,
well, you know what happened there, Rick.
I know, but there's other networks. There's how many distribution. The best thing you can do is what are they on? Tubi, Roku, or something?
Yeah, Tubi, bro.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. No, how many people are watching Tubi?
No, I'm not. I've got it, but I don't watch it.
Yeah. Tubi sounds like a KY jelly, some kind of sex toy or something like that.
Oh, settle down, Rick. We don't need to go into KY jelly.
Hey, I know great friends that work with the NWA. We got a lot of ties around here, people that have been on our platform.
Exactly. We all do. We here at HMG have got a lot of friends and former guys, HMG guys as well.
I talk to today that are doing big things there at the NWA, and you see the great talent. You look at the roster, man. They look at Mondo out there carrying that national championship right now, putting out promos, trying to spread that word. He looks freaking incredible.
He's jacked too right now.
And these guys, and it seems like that roster wants more. They want more. They want that exposure. They want to get their product out there, but they're not. It's just not getting that support from the office for whatever reason.
You think it's the office even?
It's got to be. Where else would it come from? Where else is it coming? Where is the lack?
Question.
You got one of the biggest musical rock stars on the planet that owns that thing. I mean, I would be selling pumpkin shit. I will give your network twice a year a concert as long as you pick up my wrestling for 52 weeks of the year.
Interesting, dude. That's actually very interesting. But then what's the motive? Like, what's the motive behind that? If that's the case, like you say it is, and it looks like it is.
To me, it's just a no-brainer. But there's something there personally where maybe he just wants to stay on. He doesn't want those tie overs. I'm not sure. Those above my pay grade. Those are the questions that I want answers to. I want to know because you want to see success.
I mean, we could ask, but I wouldn't ask like people that we know personally. That's over there.
I've asked.
So you've asked. I wouldn't dare ask, but and what it
is a key of frustration there. They want more. But I guess the other bigger question is here. NWA very traditional. And that's what I said. That I thought Russo going to Juggalo Championship Wrestling was the best move for Mr. Russo.
Oh, in terms of his creativity,
because his style, his vision, direction, he's going to be like in a big green pasture, man. You're a horse going out there to graze, and he's got it happen, man. Big, tall green grass, nice apple tree. I mean, it's there for him.
100% agree with that.
Where the NWA, they are more traditional. They're still worried about getting studio wrestling over.
Yeah, which is so passe, Billy.
So that's another question. Does the NWA National Wrestling Alliance need a drastic change in their philosophies, or can that old school Memphis Championship Wrestling can that get over?
No,
can that get over today, or is it just a nostalgia act?
It's just look, man. It's just a nostalgic act, man. Because at the end of the day, how long has NWA been? Sort of. I know they've always been around, even after like the big version. You know what I'm saying? That turned into WCW basically later on. Through ECW, through TNA over the years, but it wasn't the real NWA. Let's be real, right? But it was somehow surviving. The problem is, there's a lot of the new fans of the last 20 years, even. Maybe that's a bit long, but even I'll dare say 20 years. Did they even know what NWA was? No,
I mean, I think maybe some people would recognize it, but no, I mean,
they might have heard about it and whatnot, but they don't really know.
Like JT Storm that joined us last week, when he got his couple stints with it, and it's something I always wanted to kind of deep dive and ask him about. What was it like working with the NWA when it was at its low, when it was almost non-existent?
Right.
Because it was an afterthought.
They had the wild side shit for a few years as well, if you remember.
They tried. Well, remember they had a few things where they had reached out. First and foremost, when WCW left, Crockett and Emma, split up. That was a real shot to them. Then they try the rebirth there, and Douglas throws the belt in the trash.
That was the beginning of the end completely by that point.
Then they even had. Remember when they tried the NWA Invasion when Cornette had that in WWE? Yeah.
Oh, yuck! The new Midnight Express, whatever it was.
That speaks to what you're saying, because how many of those fans were like, "What the hell is this? Like, what's the NWA?"
It didn't fit that narrative, the WWE narrative at the time either, dude. It just didn't. You know what I mean? No one wanted it. It didn't succeed. Plus, when you use your own wrestlers, Bombacious Bob or Bart or whatever the fuck.
Art Bob, the new Midnights, baby, But I mean that fell flat. But then remember when
Dan Severn was the only good thing about it.
When TNA, Total Nonstop Action, they were affiliated with the NWA. They held that title for quite a while before they had.
And they did good, sort of elevating. I felt like they were the best company that kind of elevated that championship again, where it kind of meant something in terms of in the landscape of all of pro wrestling.
It was getting distribution, it was getting recognized, but TNA itself, they weren't sticking to the philosophies, the fundamentals, the old school foundation. So could there be something where there is a balance where we can respect that past, but you need to introduce the future here?
You can always respect the past, dude. Always. So but that's the thing. You can respect the past, but you got to move with the times too, man. And unfortunately for Corgan and the whole of NWA, I think today's fan base just didn't understand how important the NWA truly was in terms of the whole landscape in pro wrestling. Because today's fans, they've got no patience, bro. Maybe they don't want to go over that old stuff. Like for me, for example. Sorry, continue.
Go ahead. I was going to hit with a closing comment, so go ahead. I was going to transition.
This is my closing comment. I don't usually go past my own time. Like I started watching in the 80s, for example, right? I'm not going to go into the 70s and watch that stuff. That was before I was around. I know what happened. I know all about it. And I respect the history. But that was before me. So I don't really care about that time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do a little. I go back and watch them because I like the presentation. I want to see stories how they were presented.
Yeah, I've watched stuff, but it doesn't
things like
it doesn't interest me like per se. It's just I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Well, we're going to keep moving on with the times here as we are heading about 11:15 hour here on the East Coast. And it's also, speaking a little old school, Jimmy, we're going to talk SmackDown. It was coming from that extended Flair country in Greenville, South Carolina. Fans were ready for this one. What do we have that was promised on this show? We knew that we were getting Nia Jax versus Charlotte. Knew we had that one coming. We had Giulia was defending against Chelsea Green, and we were going to get a Cody Rhodes sighting and hear from our new women's champ, Jade Cargill. So to kick things off, man, it just like we always do here. So what do you want to talk about? Cody's opening up the show. We do get the opening recap from Saturday night's main event with did he intentionally use the belt? You know, it should have been a disqualification.
Absolutely,
title.
he did. Come on, Rick.
Yeah, we did. No, he didn't know it was there. You know what? All right, so hold on. Here's something very interesting, though. They're drawing some parallels with Cody here, who is a true white baby face. Parallels where he walks that fine line of is he doing right, doing wrong? Reminds me a lot of Hulk Hogan, who would have some questionable calls back in the day. You know, was he going in? You know, was Hogan being selfish? Is he in the best interest of competition? Is he just for himself? Cody kind of
was all for himself. When you look back on it, even with the mega powers and everything, like you think back on it, it was all
the Rumble. Sid throws him out, and he's mad because he got tossed, and he goes, "But here or there." But so Cody comes out, and here's what first strikes me. I had this in my notes here. What do you want to talk about? The crowd doesn't care. So and Cody starts mentioning Drew McIntyre and mentioning what happened at his main event. Crowd doesn't care. They just say, "Hey, we're just going to start singing because we don't care what you have to say right now, Cody, because it's the same old to open."
Well, yeah, but you know what? He also said it nonchalantly. He was almost like, "So what do you want to talk about?"
Well, they start singing, and then he tries to put it over. Oh, we got a lively one here. This is going to be a fun show. Really, Cody? Or they just realize right now you're going to give them to same old lip service, crap creative coming from the back. Hey, we might as well just make this thing entertaining ourselves because we can't count on you to do it on the stage there or in the ring. Then
do you blame him?
Then, if it can't get any worse than that, F and shoot me. Here comes Timu, Cross, and Scarlett.
Boy, did it look obvious even more on tonight on this show, especially with Zelina, dude. The way she's touching Cody. You tell me that's not all Scarlett? That's what Scarlett will do, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Sorry, I hit my sneeze button there.
That's
so.
Right.
Well, so let's we got this in the open, and we don't see anything from this until the end. So we get the main event. So they set up here in the open that it's going to be Aleister Black taking on Cody Rhodes. Main event. This was almost I felt just defeated, beaten. Like, okay, now I have to. You've opened up. Now I've got to sit through this entire thing. Just to see this in the main event.
Yep. Sure was. Actually, I forgot
even worse
right.
is when you realize they hit their entrance music for this thing with 20 minutes to go in the show. So we're going to get 20 minutes of this in the main event.
Gotta love it, Rick. You gotta love it, man. I mean, come on. But at least, look, on the brighter side, at least these two do have a history, though, when you think back on it. And it goes from WWE over into AEW and back into WWE.
It didn't cross my mind at all. And even when you say that, I have little to zero reaction care for that. I will say one good thing about the open. It only went 10 minutes. So they got this match set up.
Dude,
they got
it wasn't long at all. You're right. Yeah.
They So I'm thinking at first, okay, we heard those rumors that ESPN wants some changes, Netflix wants some changes. We were going to pick up some pacing, do some things here. We set up, even if I like it or not, they did do the business in under 10 minutes, entrances and everything, chants,
Right.
songs. We get all that. So the match itself, hard to stay into this match after sitting through the rest of the show, those developments there. And this is one of those cases, we got 20 minutes to wait for one, Drew McIntyre to jump the rail and attack somebody, or
In all white. Weird
or
enough.
Damian Priest to make his way in and go after Black,
Aleister Black. Right.
or both of them, which is what we end up getting.
Yeah.
So we have
Dude, we get both of
Drew.
them.
Drew comes in and hits the referee with a Claymore, and then they start beating up the baby. So Cody's getting beat up. So here comes Priest for the save. He's taking care of Black on the outside. Vega comes off the table, tries to jump onto him, all 3'2" over. Priest catches her. I'm not doing anything, man. Don't me too me. I ain't touched her, I ain't groping her.
Me too. Me.
But Black,
That's
that
a
opens
real
it up.
thing.
That opens up for Black to get in there and work that eye, that injured eye of Priest. But ultimately, the babies run the heels off in the end. Big announcement, though, because I'm thinking, okay, well, here comes Aldis to close the show, and he's going to set up next week a tag match. They give up us on a cliffhanger. I'll give them this. We did get a cliffhanger. It was the most boring roller coaster ride ever to get there. It was just not even a hill. It was just like a flat track to get there.
Yeah.
But they did leave us with a cliffhanger that Aldis has had enough, and Drew is suspended indefinitely.
Yeah, I'm worried about this, Rick.
Why?
You know why?
Let's hear. What do you think?
This is their way of, again, not knowing what to do with Drew next, dude. I'm telling you, bro. I am telling you, this is them buying time. You can't have him feuding with Cody forever, right? I mean, think about it. Even before that, they had problems not knowing where does this guy fit right now. You know what? I dare say maybe he's too good, man. He's too good. They know that he's great. They just don't know where to fit him. And now this is their way. I could be wrong, and I hope I am. This is their way of trying to buy time to figure out where we're going with him from now on. I know it's obviously still going to be with Cody, but what do you do?
I could actually, I agree with you on that one. I'm not saying I'd be surprised if I agree with you. I do agree with you. They're they feel like they've hit a dead end or a roadblock with him booking.
They have. A long time ago, they felt that way, actually, Rick.
They realize there's no one else of his caliber or anybody ready, especially with Fatu now on the sideline, to step into that main event scene for the Blue Brand.
Right.
This was going to be, when we've talked about it here over and over, that the back quarter of this year going into this year's Rumble was must, especially after Cena went away and now Paul, they're all off of the Blue Brand here. Must be carried by Cody and Drew McIntyre in the program.
Right.
Sure. They've already, last week I talked about this, that I felt like they booked it backwards. We had getting the head kick through, then we had the All Out Brawl, and then we have the All Out Stakes Ultimate Wrestling match, where we've already seen all other hell. I mean, that's just be like, we started with a knife fight, then we went to a gun fight, and now we're gonna have a fist fight.
Yeah, exactly, backwards, like you said.
Right. It's so now they're like, okay, man, we got a couple weeks of program we got to get through here to the new year. Where are we going to have Drew? Because you just can't keep repeatedly having him coming out crying about the same, I got cheated, or just blindsiding people.
Right. And it worries me, Rick, because the fact that you don't know what to do with a talent like that, to me, screams absolutely no idea with this writing team. And everyone just doesn't have any sort of idea, man. They need to just calmly chill.
Let me ask you this, and ask the chat over there. How would you feel with all of this building up? And it kind of plays into everybody against Drew in his mind. The referee, he keeps getting cheated. Cody's getting disqualified. He had his head dropped on that belt. Not just the belt, remember, because it sat up perfectly, man. He ate that freaking edge.
Fuck yeah, he did. Yeah.
Now Aldis is suspending him, has taken him away from his environment, from his arena. Can't you remove a gladiator from arena? He's doing this. Do you see when Drew comes back that he puts it all on the line and we get like a career versus championship or something like that?
Okay, if that's the case, which is intriguing actually. Do you book him to win the championship? Obviously, you have to, right? But because I doubt he's going to leave. I don't know, man. You got to have him. It's like Gunther, dude. That's why Gunther's not around either. That's just when he's not champion, they have no idea what to do with him, so they just put him to the side. You know what I mean? For now, until we figure it out. Them two particularly, all they know is if you either give them the belt and that just writes itself because they're the champions, if you know what I mean, which is still lazy. Or you wait till the new year, make them win the Royal Rumble, all that bullshit, and again, it leads to them being champions. But again, that's just lazy booking because that's the only way they know how to actually do anything with either one of these guys. It feels like when they've got an actual belt where it just writes itself, next challenger. You know what I'm trying to say?
I think, talking it out, I'm going to miss Drew. He is one of the stars of that show. He is on the next level. He is so damn good. No pun intended with next level. Hey, maybe that's where he's headed. Maybe he's going to go start co-hosting with Ray and Yvette.
Maybe.
Start covering NXT, man. He's going to need something to do here these next couple of weeks because he ain't going to be on that blue brand.
Let me ask you one question before we move on. Is Drew kind of in a cross spot at this point?
A cross.
And when I say that, no, because if you hear his promos like away from WWE, you know he's working, but does the company know he's working? But
he's always working. He's always working.
He's always working. Does the company know?
Everything. It's always.
I get that, but the company is what worries me, bro. Sometimes I feel like the company don't even realize it.
They know. Artist saying send him to TNA. I think that would be a boost. He's got those eyes. You could do that history there. I think just
he'd be pissed off. He'd
give him a break.
Pissed off.
Give him a break.
Yeah, give him a break right now. Don't put him in a step down. He doesn't like that. I've heard stories.
Go enjoy the holidays with the family right now. You don't want to go work all that stuff. Give him a break here. I would let Drew have a lot of fun with the time away from TV. Maybe he's got something going on. I'd have him have a lot of fun on social media. Have him go shoot some cool things. Have production, do the editing and all that for him where he's at home, pissed off, stewing over this. Do some fun stuff like that. You don't have to completely remove him from your product, from all of your platforms, your outlets, but let's give him some time off there. So that's what we end up with. How long do you give
him, though, Rick? Do you wait till the Rumble?
I'll give him through the holidays. I've got to give him through the holidays until you figure out a way to bring him back the first of the year because we're going into a lull right now. We've got about a month where the only thing that they really are focused on, we're going to get some bad programming because everything's about this John Cena thing.
Yeah, no, you're right. Actually, I agree with you now that you put it that way, 100%. This is the perfect time for him to go away for a bit, refresh the batteries or recharge the batteries and come back, in somewhat of a more happier mood and happy to sort of be there. Do you know what I'm saying? Which I'm sure he is because he's been working his butt off, Rick. He's trying. It's not his fault.
Absolutely. We get Jade Cargill. Our new champ is in the house. Yay, more cosplay. She got her anime shirt on, but that's the other thing. They keep showing that back right where she walks in the back. She's got one thing on and she's doing the superhero, supervillain chain. She comes out, man. She's got them big old spike boobies, that brawl going there, Road Warrior brawl. Legion of booms kicking.
But Legion of booms.
The crowd, I kind of like this because, again, this is short. It's sweet. It's what she needs to be. Just like her matches. It was full of attitude. She pretty much just said, what? The bitch is back, right? She's the head bitch. The bitch That's is back. I'm that bitch, right?
That's it.
Didn't pander to an audience. Didn't let any chance get going. Came out, gave you a stunning intro, and on her way. But we do have some other things that we find out from Jade in this show. Again, as I talked about a little bit earlier, we're going to get her next week. We get a match set up. I don't know if this does a whole lot to move numbers, but I think it might a little bit of sense because I'm a little more intrigued next week to watch this. It's going to be Jade Cargill taking on B-Fab, B-Fop, B-Squash.
Be done, yeah.
Be done. Gonna get her head kicked off. Gonna get her destroyed. Here's a talking point for this one, Jimmy, real quick. We'll just make a note of it so we got it on record. How fast should and will this match happen? I want under a minute. No offense. No offense. Go out there. Maybe beat up her and Munchies both in under a minute.
That'd be great. For me, just jump in, do a jaded out.
Yeah, beat her up. What do you think here? We'll use this in a transition because they tie together. I like this teaser a little bit because we had talked last week on the show with JT Storm joining us. The possibility, what's next for Jade?
Dude,
that bitch is back.
Right,
She's here. But they tease it as Jade's leaving. Here comes the queen. And if there's somebody can stand up to her in stature and resume and muscle and talent to get it done, it is Charlotte Flair. We get a little teaser there. Charlotte and Bliss kind of, walk by. We get that fun team. But Charlotte, she turns around and says, you know what? Maybe. I still got my eyes on you. I got my tag belt, but I got my eyes on you. That's a little teaser there as we're looking for potential opponents down the road.
But if they write that right, they should have Charlotte losing still to Jade because Jade's the new young up and comer.
Just a teaser. I don't think we need those two right now. Save that for later.
No way.
But we get Charlotte and Bliss continue on their way to the ring. We get Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax. Alexa Bliss beat Nia last week. The babies just cheat blatantly in front of the referee last week, which is terrible. But I hate to say I told you so. Well, I freaking told you so. Who showed up, baby? Who laid it out? Who laid it out last week?
It was you. I was trying to remember who it was. It was either you, because I said Jade and Lash Legend, right? And you said Nia.
No one said Lash. I said Nia and Lash. No one was talking about
her.
Yeah,
you said Nia and Lash. I said Jade and Lash.
I put them together. I'm gonna go find that. I need you to download that episode for me and send it to me in a wire transfer so I can go in there and clip that out or a WE transfer or whatever the hell they are. Okay. Send me that so I can go clip that out in a WE transfer. Same thing.
How long in the show were we though, do you think?
I'll go look and have you send it over to me. Or I'll get
do that. Come on, you can at least do that for me.
I want the proof out there that
I know one of us said it. I guarantee you, because I was saying it today before.
Because I compared them to the natural disasters, because I was going to call them the glamorous disasters. And I said,
I know
together. And lo and behold, 1 week later, we have Lash Legend come over the rail, and I'm not going to call it. Lily Wops, because she ragdogged Alexa Bliss. Ragdogged her. So we got a new tag team. We got a new big-time force in this women's tag division. I don't know if they're looking at AEW, All Elite Wrestling, saying, hey, doing some stuff over there with that women's tag division. We're going to up the ante. We're going to throw all in. But one of the few good things they got going in WWE right now that interests me is this women's tag division.
And now I'm nuts at that. Look at the men, what they're doing. They're all vying for a singles championship.
Oh, my God. We're going to talk about those losers here.
You know what I mean? So that's out the window.
One of the dreaded parts of the Smack Attack where we're going to talk about SmackDown tag division.
But the women's intriguing, absolutely.
And they're going. So they're going after the champs. You got Bayley and Bird Girl are still in there. Now you've got the glamorous disasters. These two big monsters. They're throwing their name into the hat. Everybody wants a piece of the champs. I love how they're showing, because then we even get. Well, this is kind of. I hate to see this. Asuka makes an appearance here. She, Bliss is getting checked on by the nurses. Asuka is in the medical gear, but she missed the spot. She missed the spot. She missed the miss spot.
I know the miss spot.
So didn't really hit on that, but hey, the Kabuki Warriors, they want those belts too. So there's a lot going on there. And hey, I gave you guys a little Easter egg there. You can check out on my thing here. Go check it out. I actually sent it to Jimmy T.
I've got it. Should I show it?
We're not going to risk getting the strike on there.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think we'll get a strike for showing that?
We got a little homework side. We can't give it all to you, but Charlotte's titties pop out. We got some pepperonis. You know what I really loved about it? I was eating some pepperoni pizza when that happened too. When I saw that, 2 big old Sicilian slices. God. I like them small pepperonis where they kind of bubble up and you get that grease in there. You drink it like a teacup.
I had to.
Titty teacups, baby. That's what I like. Titty teacups.
Oh, that's why I went along with you. Friday night titty delight, right?
There we go, man. The titty delight done right. And I called it. I laid it out Exactly, because they even when I laid it out, I said, "Here's the reasoning," and now I came out and said, "Hey, I went down there and battled this bitch in NXT, and
Right.
I
We
know
were
how mean
saying
she
that they
is."
got history. Right.
Right? She said,
It's true.
I know what she can do."
Do you think they might have listened? I mean, shit, it's a bit of a coincidence, dude. Again, I don't believe in coincidences, but that was too, I don't know, bro. That just
Hey,
seemed
we
way
got
too
the
quick.
proof. But I hate to be one of those guys, but I told you so, but I told you so, right?
No, hey, man, I knew for a fact as soon as I saw that happen, I knew we spoke about it, but I couldn't remember who said it. But I know for a fact, and I said that to you, D, you know, not about the Naya and anyway, the point is, I knew
Yeah.
we were talking about it. I knew someone said it, but I couldn't remember if it was you or if it was JT that actually said it.
Me.
Right, but here you are, so confirming it.
He's
All
been
I
in way too
remember,
many death matches. His brain capacity's not there
once
anymore.
do you think? I'll talk to you off the air actually about that. But that was
So we
something I
got
wanted to ask you.
little fun announcement here. Just pick your brain on this. Maybe we'll do a little special on it here in the upcoming weeks. But we got the return of the LGN big rubber figures. We got a new
Yeah.
packaging. We got a couple. We got Dusty, Hogan, the throwbacks. You got Cena and Logan Paul. What was your favorite series of WWE or wrestling figures?
I started from the very first ones with those LJN ones, the rubber
The
ones.
big super rubber ones.
I had the ring too, bro, the original
I had
ring.
that. You strike me out. You probably like the thumb wrestlers because you probably like sticking your
Nah.
thumb in the back of the Iron Sheik, didn't you?
Get out of here, bro. No, I used to love playing with my wrestling figurines though, and the rings. I love the rings. Even to this day, I want to buy. I've got one in the background there, if you can see it, not next to my little arcade thing. But I want to get the actual proper, the bigger one, the one that costs way more money, but it's like got the same materials instead of it being plastic and all that. I kind of want to buy one now. I don't even collect the figures anymore. I never have as an adult, only as a kid.
I'm in a couple of those figure groups. I like seeing how people go in there and create them, man. They do some awesome work with them. I'm not a big
Dude.
collector. Now I had the LGN ones. I had all the thumb wrestler set ones. I did enjoy those from back in the day. Had all that era of toys, the rock and wrestling. But my favorite line was the early, was it the Hasbro? The early 90s.
The ones right after the LJN ones.
Yeah, they were smaller ones, and then they all had like a move. Like Hogan, like the first one was the press, and then he had the bear hug. The first Warrior was like the like where you just springboard his back. They all had like a little move.
And he done the gorilla press too as well. There was another version
that was
of
the second one. That was the second Warrior that came out. The
first one was the jumping clothesline or the shoulder block.
Shoulder block.
Right.
Yeah,
they're my favorite.
That series I had like the first 4 or 5 releases of those, and then I just kind of outgrew where I was playing with wrestling toys.
That was my last set of wrestling toys that I had growing up. After that, I never bought any other ones.
Like when they started like turning into the GI Joes, where they just all moved around. But I was in high school at that point, so I wasn't going to be getting them. But I had like the wrestling buddies. That was one. So hey, maybe if you guys are interested out there in the chat, let us know. We'll do a merchandise or figures kind of special like we did with the video game thing. That was cool. That was pretty popular. Definitely, what else we got here? Let's run down. Again, this game we had our first match of the night here, but we kind of hit the highlights. Dragging off, jerking off, U.S. Open Challenge. We think it's going to be Ciampa. They continue to just cut Ciampa off at the nuts. Last week he comes out and it's like, no, not you, buddy. You're out of here. And I thought we were going to get a triple threat. You're fighting
now, bro. The way they're making him is like
he's getting totally cucked. So now he's got to sit there and watch his buddy get screwed, get beat up on in the ring. So Gargano goes in there, takes the loss this week. Ben and Stevie were talking about this, and real quick, we got a clip up there right here on the YouTube page where they're kind of touching on this here. I started looking at this thing. We're talking about the reality of comparing wrestling with sports and that presentation and all that. Anywhere else in sports, especially like the Olympics, the NFL, NBA, because they have a lot of international players, would play into Dragunov being Russian. And maybe in a positive way. It doesn't have to be like he's pro-Russian, like F the Ukraine, all this. It could be like he left there for a reason. They would lean into something there. So I started looking, about some potential here about
And he
in the
did leave for a reason, by the
most
way.
importantly, okay, I didn't know, but most importantly, we need a connection with him. You're a workhorse coming out here, and they give him the microphone again, and then we get an exchange. This was longer than the Open. We don't care about this. If your thing is to be a workhorse, stop talking. But for the creative, you need to find out the way to get us a character and get us a connection. And they still have yet to do this all these weeks in. And now he's just taking on the whole stupid tag division. But so I looked, they don't have anyone. So it's real simple. In Google, are there any current WWE superstars from the Ukraine? There are not. There was Kozlov was back in the day. I don't know if he's still
Was he Ukrainian?
Yeah, he was actually from the Ukraine.
WWE.
And then, but you know who maybe would be a great story here? A smaller guy that looks incredible is Dragunov, but who would be a great opponent to him, and you could tie in with those Eastern, that portion of the world thing that used to represent Russia is Rusev.
True. I mean, they got the same names. They're both Slavs. Technically, they're the same race.
Okay, because I know, one's Bulgaria, but you had, he was representing Russia. We've already seen CJ Perry is making a incredibly desperate attempt to get back into good graces of WWE. Her and Rusev going out there and renewing their vows is a whole big thing of, the couples are over in WWE.
Get out of here. I mean, she's so immature in a way,
that's
bro.
That's what that was about, because they see couples that are over in WWE and they think that could open a window for them to get her back in there.
I'm sorry, but Rusev doesn't have the personality to really get that over properly, if that makes sense. Like, he's got personality, but not for him and CJ.
She doesn't care. She's an attention whore. That's it.
100%.
That's it. So let's go public with we're gonna renew our vows because we're back together. No. You see all these other couples together in WWE and getting airtime together. She is conniving her way, trying to use that. At some point, she's probably having him pitch thing. Oh, I love to work with Seth and Becky, or Black and Vega, or
for sure,
or Punk and AJ.
Do you think she's the modern day, and nowhere near this yet, but it's got potential to be the modern day Sunny?
Probably already. Hell, who knows?
Think about that for a minute. And what I mean by that, for whatever reason, I feel like there is potential for her to turn out that way, dude. Like, in every sense. And that worries me.
I hope not. I hope there's not any more Sunnies ever on this planet. But
no more sunny days. That's for sure. But I see that sort of potential there. Call me crazy. I don't know, bro. I just see it. I feel like a lot of the wrestlers, all the boys, whatever you want to say, secretly behind their back are laughing at him, bro.
I hope the best for Rusev. I like him there. Their personal stuff aside here, keep her away from this. But there could be something there that she tries to manage him as a Russian. I'm just looking for time. We need some kind of connection.
They get together. There. If she's Lana again, and as his side piece, that works. You know what I mean? But because her history, her background, she can actually speak Russian, that fluently.
Yeah, she lived there. So
yeah, she did. Even though she was born in the US and she's American, but she done 20 years.
She's got dual citizenship. She's been over there for a while.
So she's not fucking bullshit. She's legit. You know what I mean? So
hey, how about your boy in your favorite, the face paint there, smashing their face into some pie? Longa Donga beats Ray Phoenix.
Longa Donga. Yeah. You know what, man? Is it just me, or is this becoming a bit cartoonish now?
Yeah, well, we got all these things going on. Here's my biggest thing here. So you've got my family tree, the big scary Tongans in there, Samoans, interbreeding, kind of like when the Homo sapiens and the...
Hey, I'm not saying nothing. I've got too many friends that are...
cavemen started, crossing seeds, planting their seeds in each other, and evolution and all that. Kind of what happens when you have the Samoans and those Tongans doing the dirty with each other. That's what we got in my family tree.
To all my Tokos and Usos out there, I didn't say shit.
You got meat and potatoes in there. You got Tala Tonga, Tunga Donga, Solo Sokoa, all the big monsters get run off by an injured Sami Zayn with a baseball bat.
What's scarier than an injured Sami Zayn with a baseball bat, bro?
This
I mean,
ain't no
come on.
Sting. Ain't no Sting.
Maybe
You
he
ain't
had something strapped around his body.
Stevie Richards, you ain't no fucking Chris Jericho. Sami Zayn ain't no Sting. He should not be running off a big bad army of dudes with a baseball bat.
Hey, he could be something else, bro. He could be straight out of Syria or something like that.
The Syrian Stung.
Do you get? Do you get where I'm going?
Yeah.
Where I'm going with that? I'm not gonna say it, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, look, I know it's stupid. Let's be real. It is absolutely dumb. And if I was them in creative, I would have so pushed back on it. Because this is what I would have said. Hello, I'm a freaking Samoan or a Tongan. Why am I going to run off to some fucking puny, bum-looking friggin'
The
Canadian with a
Syrian,
baseball bat?
yeah, the Syrian maple syrup sucking Sami Zayn swinging for the fences.
I mean, shit. If he had a bomb strapped to him, then okay, I'd run.
Yeah.
But
Well, he had a bomb in that bat. Was it a bomb bat?
maybe. I mean, maybe he hits you with it and it's just boom.
Yeah. So as soon as I saw that, it is all right. So Sami Zayn is supposed to be injured. He's not cleared. Like, why is he just hanging out at the building every week?
Well,
Just he's
he's
threatening to get
bored.
involved. I mean, wouldn't you send him home?
He's bored, bro. Let him chill with everybody. He just wants to hang out, man.
So that basically wraps up this week's Blue Brand in-ring stuff here. We do have some announcements for next week. We have the Cena Sweet 16 tournament going to get underway.
Oh, yeah.
We touched on Granny's tumbler in our matches.
Yeah.
R-Truth wants to put his big beautiful balls in there, but he's already got one in there, so he's all right, good to go. But we get announced next week for SmackDown. The Miz, who beat John Cena in the main event at WrestleMania, he's going to be taking on the Yeet, Jey Uso, in tournament action. And the other big match, L.A. Knight, yeah. We don't know his opponent because Aldis pulls it out. He says he's gonna hold on to that one himself.
Now, surely this has got to be Y2J, right?
Oh, sorry, Sammy had a chair.
Oh, was it? Oh,
that changes the whole game because those are so much easier to swing at a bunch of people.
I knew what he meant when he said that. I should have corrected you on that, but yeah, I just knew what you were meaning. It's like I was hearing chair. But
maybe he was going to bring the chair out, open it up, turn it upside down so that everybody could have a seat. And they just wanted to take off
musical
on that.
Chairs. That's happened before in WWE. Don't you remember?
Probably with Sami Zayn. So
it was with Ric Flair and some divas and a couple of the boys. It was ridiculous.
Maybe I had bad on my mind because I was watching those guys flee the ring. That I just wish somebody would hit me with a bat. But yeah,
shit.
So who's the guest? Who's the guest next week? Is it Nick Aldis himself?
That would be good. I'd rather that than Jericho, if say. But they've already hinted. Cena did hint on his Sweet 16 bullshit that there's going to be wrestlers outside of WWE, which will be TNA.
It might not work here.
Okay, so then is it someone from TNA? Because realistically, I think that's the little trickery they're playing. That outside company has got to be a TNA guy.
Well, all right, to me, though, once you get that pop,
I know who it is now.
Hypothetically, if it's Jericho, I'm just saying he would enter this tournament.
It's going to be Joe Hendry, guaranteed.
Because you didn't want to say his name.
Exactly. It's 100% Joe Hendry, bro. There you go. You said it. You just fucking answered the question, bro.
But, all right, but if it's like how they're teasing these outside names.
I know, but it's all
facade.
Right,
I know, but they got to win 3 matches. So I'm going to see them 3 times back in the ring before they get to Cena. So even that inside of itself, where's the mystique? Like I don't want to see Chris Jericho come back, beat 3 people up, and then wrestle John Cena. I would want to just see him come out challenge.
Yeah, it's not Jericho. It's not.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I don't get people buying in or getting excited about this. They might not. Who could it be?
No, it'll be Joe Hendry. It's all right. What a great way to fucking actually like put this guy down. You know, everyone's going to be so excited because you know that now.
So now you put yourself in a spot. I mean, I don't want to say his name. You know, they should have said like, I can't say. I don't want to say this name. We'll wait. But all right, so
they hinted it.
So what do you? LA Knight going to lose to Joe Hendry? No,
probably not. I mean, you never know, but I doubt it. I highly doubt it. But he's RBV. I mean, RBV, the thing is is LA Knight in a bad spot here? For me personally, I wouldn't want to be involved in this tournament. As LA Knight.
This whole tournament to me,
character.
I don't know. I have no interest in it. If people just got throwing their name in here for this, can we go out here and make this magic with it? So I guess I'm not excited
I'm
about
not excited. Yeah.
Guess what?
Am I.
Before we get out of here, we do got to talk about one thing that there is big time excitement about.
Well, what's that?
Thank God the Toronto Blue Jays did not win an
Dodgers.
American championship. I'm not saying go Dodgers because, I mean, there's only probably the only city in the world that's worse than Toronto is LA.
Ooh.
Maybe London.
Wow.
They're up there.
Really?
But if we were going to have to crown a U.S.-based champion, we have done it. We have got everything is right back in the world. Chelsea Green has recaptured the Women's United States Championship.
You got me.
Yes. In very, very convincing fashion.
I called this, by the way. I'm the one that called this last week too, by the way.
What do you guys say about Giulia? Just look at her.
I know, but I did say she's
I hope you look quick, because if you blinked, you missed her. And if you look at her now, she ain't got that goal because it's back where it belongs. Chelsea Green.
But again, it's not her fault though, bro. She's been booked like an idiot. Hardly defended the belt. I don't even know why they gave her the championship in the first place.
Because they think that fixes things, and it doesn't.
And I did say on last week's Smack Attack, since we're good at fucking predicting the future, it seems, Rick, that when they do face each other next, she's going to lose. You know what I mean? Because why is she going to win?
Because Giulia kept saying she didn't care about that. So, I mean,
that's
now she's going to change.
Right, that's what you were saying. That's what you were saying. I remember now.
They did her a major disservice by not having her connect. They gave her no character, no introduction. They just put a belt on and thought people were going to like her. Same reason that Dragunov's going to fail. And
at least he's getting time, though.
But where's connections? It's going to get old, and he's in there with that crap tag division,
right? But Giulia was getting nothing.
They are walking. They gave her big purse.
Yeah, but she wasn't talking. She wasn't doing anything. Right. Like there was nothing. Like
so, yeah, we're going to see what's happening with her here, and they're walking that very fine line there with Stephanie Vicure as well.
Yeah, they got to be careful with Vicure, but right now I'll say this: so far, so good. They haven't totally fumbled her yet. They were beginning to fumble her though. If you remember, before she won the championship, she was off television for a couple of weeks for no reason or whatever.
She got hurt or something,
and then
like
she
that.
won the belt.
Tweaked.
Was
so, she? Yeah, something she tweaked her knee or something like that. She was dealing with. Oh, but yeah, she looks like they're gonna have Steph working with the beautiful Nikki Bella. You know, Miss Hugs and Jugs.
Hugs and Jugs. Ooh,
gonna get her over there. Yeah. So,
very creative.
But yeah, Giulia is gone. No more. All is right in the world. Chelsea Green has her championship back. I'm expecting what we should have had, because this was short and sweet. If you're going to give someone mic time, it should have been Chelsea here. So now Chelsea's dual champion. Mm-hmm. She won half of the intergalactic, south of the border, sour cream and guacamole championship there with Adam Page. She's got those belts there. She had that strap rocking that.
Wow.
She was embarrassed by all that cream, but the American dream thrives. I'm expecting the government shutdown here to end now that Chelsea's back. Tariffs are probably going to be axed in half. Borders going to be shut back down. Probably ICE is going to have to up their efforts, because with Chelsea as champion, more and more immigrants, refugees are going to want to rush into this country to be a part of that. So
I mean, hey, why not? I'm down for that. And even though I'm not in the US, but because it's Chelsea and she's an immigrant and she's the American dream, legitly.
Oh,
absolutely.
We might just recruit you guys in. Australia could be a territory, apply for statehood, something like that.
We are part of a thing we call AUKUS together. Us, you guys, and the UK. AUKUS, that's what it's called. So hey.
I do want to say that a little shout out here as well. Great to see Chelsea back there in that spot. Man, really missing Piper.
You think so?
I am. I miss what she brings, man. It's a great subtleties to it. I think Al was doing a good thing there, filling into that spot. But
Piper's the OG though. She's much better than the other one. What she's doing.
And I hope they just don't go with the you didn't blah 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 respect me or whatever when I was gone. I'm coming back. I'm coming
WWE,
after you.
they probably will do that. Because she'll be like, where were you when I won the title? I won this without you and blah, blah, blah. So why does she need her anymore, right?
Hopefully not.
It's
Hopefully,
typical.
I don't know. I just hopefully she gets well, that she gets back here. But yes, that's our highlight there, brother. So we've got it. And we've got only a couple weeks here until War Games. And we did no business tonight on the show for that.
None. I forgot there was even a War Games, bro.
Right? That's only like 2.5 weeks away.
Did they mention it at all other than just Survivor Series commercial here and there? Like, did they actually?
They had the commercial and then they had the graphic on the jumbo.
That was it. They didn't say nothing on the main stuff, though, right? Not that I can remember.
No.
That is bad. What's wrong with these guys? This one, I felt, look, they did business on this show, especially with Chelsea. But this felt phoned in again, dude. Rinse and repeat. Monkey see, monkey do, like you said. It's the same old shit, bro.
I don't know. The lease opening was 10 minutes. And then we got LGM, we got Big Rubbers back. Chelsea's the champ. And B-Fop gonna be B Squash and be gone hopefully next week. So that's our highlight.
Be gone, right? No, she's done, bro, and she's gonna be done as well. Yeah, she's fuck. You can say so much with the B something.
Hopefully, Jade, when she gets done, she kicks Munchies into the chipper, and we get Mulchi, and she's out of here too.
Yeah.
Yes,
absolutely. Jade's gonna be champ for a while, I think, until maybe what's her name comes back from having a kid. Or Bianca.
I think that'd be your WrestleMania program.
100% a WrestleMania match. And don't be surprised in the future if you have a Jade versus Charlotte, Korea versus Belt match, or something like that, where Jade wins and off goes Charlotte into the sunset.
Charlotte's got them glamorous disasters and Asian spitting monsters and all sorts, bird girls to worry about. She got all sorts of things on her plate.
Please change that theme. The cool and then cool. The way the fans do it now is so nonchalant. It kind of pops me.
All right, Jimmy. Let's get it out of here, brother.
We're gonna do this. Scoot. Are we going?
Yeah. Again, want to remind everybody though.
Please.
New day, new time. Smack Attack. We're gonna be starting from here on out. This is the year here. Programming and all that. But Friday evenings. Immediately following Let's Go Brandon's live watch long 10:15 p.m. Eastern time. Friday night for your Smack Attack.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm looking forward to the new start time. As a matter of fact, I might even set it up from now. You know what I mean? Just to be, ahead of time and not having to worry about it later on.
Well, I got some things I want to get with you this weekend about too. Revamp the show look and appeal coming in next week with a few different things.
Remind me.
So we'll work on that. Work on that this weekend and through the week.
No worries, done, dilly done. But if you told them where they can find you, by the way, Rick,
right here.
I mean, mini group. But you can follow him on the X as well at RBV Eats. If I'm corrected, right?
Yeah, whatever. Just find me wherever, man.
Yeah, you'll find him there. He's there anyway. But if you want to follow me, you can at the PWC Network. But more importantly, like and subscribe right here on Hammy Media Group's YouTube channel. Again, our numbers have gone up, with subscriptions and views, and we appreciate it. So keep sharing, keep liking, keep subscribing. You'll be doing us one hell of a pat on the back, put it that way. And thank you for everyone that's joined us, and thank you, Anakata Blue. We appreciate it. I
was going to say in about 2 minutes, you're going to be able to find me with some big old thick Charlotte-sized pepperonis.
I am. Those pepperonis.
Looking at the picture of the queen. You know what? While you get it out of here, I'm just going to click on that picture.
Oh, so you're going to show it now? Oh, you're just going to... Should I show it? Maybe I should give it a quick sneak peek.
No, I'm not showing it. I'm showing it to myself.
Well, he's going to... While he goes and plays...
And they are both out. Dang.
Anyway, while he does that, I am Jimmy T. He is R to the B to the V. And you've been listening and watching the Smack Attack. And just remember, we're going to be here every week, Friday nights, 10 minutes after SmackDown goes off the air on our new time at what is it, like 11:10 Eastern? Is that
10,
what it is, I guess?
10.
Oh, 10:10. That's right. It's not
Activate.
Raw. It doesn't go for 3
10:10.
hours. 10:10. Just remember that. So until next time, sayonara, folks, and peace.